If you ever thought of starting your own home-based online business, you are in the exact right position, in the right place right now, because even with the timing of whatever is happening globally, you can see the situation that's happening right now, all right, with a lot of people being affected. Either they're being asked to, find a second source of income, or their traditional businesses are not working out. They are all looking for an alternative income. And a lot of us, most of us, in fact, within the community, started our journey more than a year before, even before all of this COVID-19 thing happened. So I encourage you, all right, to take courage, all right? So encourage you to take courage, all right? That whatever situation you might be going through right now, whether it's a difficult situation for yourself or your spouse, or maybe even a traditional business that you are having right now, I encourage you to look outside of your own industry, all right? And open up your mind to see the possibilities, because I always truly believe that when a door closes, another door is open, and it's a matter of taking that one step forward. And I also believe that in any industry, whenever an industry is not doing so well, for example, right now with COVID-19, I think a lot of retailers are being affected, a lot of food and beverage companies are being affected, but where is the money going to? It's not disappearing. Money is still flowing, but it's flowing into a different industry, like online businesses or subscriptions on internet, like Netflix or Zoom, or even, all of the social media platforms. So there truly is an opportunity. It's a matter of where are you looking. So tonight I'm going to share with a lot of trends that's happening, and how you can be a part of these trends. Now, before I get started, I also am been so blessed by the community, because if it weren't for the community, I truly believe that I would have given up my journey as an entrepreneur, because it is a lonely journey, like what Julie said and what Kareen mentioned as well. It is a lonely journey when you're starting out in a business. Nobody is there to help you. In fact, most people are your competitors. So what you want to do is you always have your trade secrets. All right. Now, for me in particular, how I got onto this journey, later on, I'll share a little bit with you about my experience, but I have been so blessed by the community, because not only have I learned the skill set, I've been empowered, and I can truly say that I have the confidence to go out there and to build, all right, one day to the next. And so for me, my great inspiration and my motivation is my children. If you are a parent, you understand where I come from, because for me, I've got a pair of twins similar to Julie, all right, but my twins are still young. They're only 10 years old, and I've got a little baby girl. I call her baby, but actually she's already 6 years old. So I love them very much, and they are my source of motivation, whatever I do as a mom. And, as somebody building a business, I want to be able to provide for them their future, financially, and be able to say as a mom, mommy can provide for that. You can go and learn that music instrument, or you go and learn dance, you can go to college, don't worry about that. Mommy can provide for that. But I also want to spend the early years with them, bonding with them, being with them. I don't want to be that parent that's absent. There's a lot of guilt that's involved as a woman when you're building a career. I think it happens for a father as well, but more so as a woman, because you have this thing where you carried your child for 9 months, and then you want to build your career, you want to be financially independent, but at the same time, you lose time with them when you're away from them. And then that bond and that relationship becomes weaker and weaker. And it gets to a point where they want to spend more time with their friends than they want to spend with you. So that is not what I want. I want to be able to bond with them, grow up with them, be able to see all the ins and outs that they go through in life. So that's why I got onto a journey of an entrepreneur, because I wanted that balanced life. Now, prior to becoming an entrepreneur, I was like probably most of you, working a full-time career. I was actually a school teacher. Now, imagine that. I was teaching biology in a secondary school, and never imagined myself to be an entrepreneur. But back then, as a teacher, I enjoyed my profession very much. And my husband also was a real estate agent. So in fact, we work very opposite hours. When I come back from work at sometimes 6 in the evening, my husband is about to start his work day. And on the weekends, I never see my husband, because he's going to the show flat. He's got duty. He's got to show his customers the new apartments and things like that. And so early on, we have a career path that we were building. We were making money, but we never have time for each other. And I still remember early on, when we decided to have a family, we came together, we talked about it, and we said maybe the best thing for us to do is start our own traditional business. That way we can adjust the time that we have, and also maybe we can be able to build our income still, and maybe have some time together with each other and with the family. So we started our own training school for real estate agents. It was the only business that we felt we could be successful in, because my husband was a real estate agent. And so we felt that maybe we could teach certain skill sets on the internet, how to market their property online, to as many real estate agents as possible. So we started this training school for about 20,000. We got it going. Within 2 years, it was very successful. No inventory required. Within 2 years, we made a sales revenue of about 1 million US dollars. And we thought that progressively our business will continue to climb and do well. Unfortunately, we were hit by an economic crisis that is very similar to what's happening right now with COVID-19, because it caught us really by a big surprise. And we never anticipated it, similar to what's happening right now. And so what happened was the government came in, because the property prices in Singapore were going up too quickly and too high, that the government came in, put in extra stamp duties and, pressed down the property prices, so much so that a lot of real estate agents were not making money. And because they were not making money, it directly affected us, because our clients are only real estate agents. So imagine if they're not making money, definitely they won't be signing up for courses, and therefore we would not make money. So I saw my business from a 6-figure sales revenue drop all the way down to 0. And that was the lowest point in my business career, because I still had staff that I had to pay salary for. I still had a 2-year contract that I had signed, and I had 1 year of agreement, tenancy left. And I was so scared because I had 0 income, but I had continued expenses. Now, if you are similar in the situation that's happening right now, you could be, working in a job, but you've got still fixed expenses, but you're not sure whether in the next few months to come, whether you can still hold on to your career or your business, or maybe your spouse's career. I encourage you to look outside and start to make alternative income. Because for me, when that happened, I start to see, all right, another door open for me. And that's where I want to share with you some trends that I found a couple of years back. And this is what I found. I found there is a huge growing potential towards home-based businesses. I'm sure you've heard of it, all right? A lot of people that are starting to want to work from home, whether is it a home bakery or a home florist and things like that. In fact, in the US, there are 38 million home businesses already. And every 12 seconds, you will have a home-based business started. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another home-based business just got started. And if you ever started a home-based business versus a traditional business, you are 70% more likely to succeed. You can see this little icon here, than traditional business. So if every one of us started a home-based business, 70% of us will go on to succeed versus if you started an F&B or retail business. And home-based business are relatively cheap to start, because you're not paying for any form of rental. You're probably not hiring staff. And then what you can do is you can do a lot of social media marketing for your advertising. So 44% of all home-based businesses can be started for less than 5,000 US dollars. Now, I want to encourage you by letting you know this. When I started my own home-based business, I started it for less than 2,000 US dollars. In fact, most of the women in the community started their home-based business for far less than what I got my business going for. And 20% of all home-based business go on to make between 100,000 to 500,000 US dollars a year. That is more than what most of us making work full-time jobs, or maybe even running a traditional business. So I saw this and I said to myself, this is good news for me, because that means that I could literally work a business from home, find time to be with my children and juggle that and have a more balanced life. Now, have you ever wondered to yourself, wow, if I start a home-based business, where am I going to get customers? That was the first thought that came to my mind, because I thought to myself, am I going to talk to my family and friends and, knock on my neighbor's door and give them flyers and say, hey, look what, I've started my home-based business. Can you come and support me? Now, how long and how sustainable can my business be if I'm only relying on family, friends, or even the neighbors? But when I went to do some research, I discovered that actually, in fact, majority of all home-based business owners do not get their customers from their families or friends or referrals or even neighbors. Majority of them get it from social media. Now, what are some examples of social media? We're talking about Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Line, Telegram, Snapchat, WeChat, WhatsApp, Instagram. I don't know. I have so many out there. Probably I missed up some. Viber as well. And whatever you're talking about in terms of social media platform currently and also in the future, whatever social media platforms you're talking about, all of these are ways that home-based business owners will find their customers. And that means that you could literally find customers from around the world who are strangers to you, but they are contributing towards your business. And this is as huge as 82%. Now, another second trend that I discovered a couple of years back that I got really excited about, and I'm sure you are participating in this trend or rather contributing to this trend, is e-commerce. Now, I wanted to just check with you, and if you could help me out here, anyone here has ever bought something online? If you've ever bought something online, could you just put into the chat group, help me out? All right, there's a little chat group, as I mentioned. There's a chat group bar there. You can click on it and just say yes if you've ever bought something online. Let me see. Anyone here has bought something? Thank you very much for the replies here. I see. All right, quite a few of you have bought something online. All right, so that's exciting because I think that if you have never bought anything online, probably by this time, because of COVID-19, you were forced to buy something online. So, that is exciting for us because we are in a time where there is a huge growth potential in the area of e-commerce. And this trend did not start just during COVID-19. It was existing a couple of years back already. And I want to show you that 7 years ago, when I did some research, I discovered that two of the largest nations that we're familiar with, they are huge on e-commerce, and not just these two countries, but US alone as well. So in 2013, I discovered that India, all right, just now we have a friend here from India, all right, that I discovered that in 2013, they were generating 12.6 billion e-commerce online. That is 12 times of their population size. And then of course, China's Alibaba. If you've ever bought from AliExpress, you would know Alibaba, which is started by Jack Ma or Ma Yun. Well, when he very first launched his shares to the public, he came back with $25 billion worth of investors interested in his company. And to today, no company has been able to surpass his initial public offering. So we're talking about two largest nations in the world. But let's look at a second I would say it's the largest nation in the world, but one of the biggest spenders in the world today in e-commerce, and that is US. US has a population of only 300 million, but in 2013, they projected their e-commerce to be 294 billion. Now, a couple of years back in 2016, this number jumped up to 600 billion online. That is probably an average spending of about maybe 100, because there's only about 7 billion of us, so about $100 billion, all right, for every person out there. It doesn't mean 100 times, all right, of whatever the population size is. So this is how huge it is, e-commerce. So I started my own e-commerce business, all right, without any experience whatsoever. If you tonight you're telling yourself, Jeeann, you give yourself a cop out. No, I don't know anything about e-commerce. I don't even buy things online. Don't worry, okay? Because you're starting from ground zero, exactly like me and most other of the community people inside, that we did not start with a lot of experience. But I want to show you what I was able to do with my e-commerce business very quickly. Now, I've got some invoices here. I've got a customer. Her name is Sarah. She's actually from UK. I got another customer here. His name is Kairaza. He's from New York. What is the first thing that I experienced when I started my e-commerce business is that I found that I could have customers from all over the world. No matter whether I knew them or not, I did not have to fly down to their country, open a physical shop, sell them something. All I needed to do was have a website they could come on, they could spend on, and immediately I have access to them. The second thing that I noticed about when I built my business online through an e-commerce platform, I discovered that my business could be 24/7. 365 days a year, 24/7. And why is that? Well, tonight on my timing is about 9:28 p.m. And I think from other parts of the world, you might be, if you're India, you're 2.5 hours behind. So it's about 7 o'clock for you. Maybe if you're in from Indonesia, might be 1 hour behind. So it's about 8:30. Elsewhere in the world, you could be going through a afternoon or even a morning. So when I saw that, I said, hey, that means that I have a 24-hour business. Tonight, when I go to sleep, at 11 p.m. or 12 p.m., I could have somebody on another side of the world waking up to an 11 a.m. on their side and coming on my website to spend. And so I remember a quote from Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said this. He said, if you want to be successful, all right, you got to have a business or anything that you can work, all right, and you can even be sleeping out and have income coming in. Because if you cannot have income coming in while you're sleeping, you will have to work until you die. And I never wanted that. I told myself, isn't that only about shares and stocks? And I discovered, no, it's also about having an e-commerce 24-hour business. And so my business, when it started in Singapore, it quickly expanded to Thailand, Macau, Cambodia, USA, Malaysia, UAE, China, Hong Kong, Ghana, Australia, Philippines, Ireland, United Kingdom, Indonesia, Canada, Netherlands, Vietnam, Russia, Taiwan, Switzerland, South Korea, Germany, Belgium, Brunei, France, Spain, Poland, and so on. You know, some of these countries are on a completely different continent, and I've never been there. Or maybe even if it took me a flight, it will be a 20-over-hour flight for me to fly from Singapore all the way to that country. And I don't speak most of the languages of the people in these countries. And you might be wondering, Jeeann, how do I build a business like yours that I can expand around the world without speaking the language? And I tell people it's actually very simple. It's about technology. So if you've ever gone on a website, what you can do is usually you'll find a drop-down language menu bar that if it's not in a language you're familiar, all you need to do is click on it and the whole website in a split second will convert into a language you're familiar with. And immediately you could have a customer come on, touch that language menu bar, click it, convert it into a language that they are familiar on your website and make a purchase. And that's what exactly I did. And so in 21 months, I expanded my business into 47 countries. Now, you heard from Julie, in a single year, without any experience, she was able to expand her business into 5 countries. You heard from Karine as well, all right, in a short span of time, being able to expand her business around the world as well. And so this is the joy of being able to build an online business. And so I started my online business for about less than $2,000 US. And in a single year, what took me 2 years, my traditional business, and I started for $20,000 US, and I made 1 million in revenue when I brought my business online, and I started it for less than 2,000. In a single year, I made 12 times of what I made offline moving online. 12 million US dollars. I never imagined this possible. But you know what? I always talk about global trends. Follow the global trends and you will have a very successful business. So that is the key thing I want to share with you, that in the community, the one thing that we look at is we focus on what in the world are people looking for globally, not just localized in your own country or in Asia Pacific, but elsewhere in the world. Focus on global trends. Now, why exactly are global trends? They're very, very simple. You can do some research. You will find it in statistics, in numbers, on the internet. So I like to look at billion-dollar industries because these are industries around the world that are generating billions of dollars because they are globally trending right now. So this is from BBC research I want to share with you. In the area of makeup, skincare, fitness, weight management, hair care, wellness, or health, these are all billion-dollar industries. These are long-term, sustainable, global trends that are happening right now, and they will last for years to come because a lot of these industries are consumables and they are also required for any generation and any male, female, young, or old, all right? So this is the thing that I look at, and I said to myself, if I want to build an e-commerce business, I want to build it globally. And if I want to build it globally, then I have to focus on global trends. And so I look among all of these trends, and the first thing that caught my eye, of course, is the largest industry that you can see. The largest figure right here is in the area of skincare. And I thought to myself, hey, skincare could be a good market to go into because skincare is used by anybody, any age, male, female, young, and old. And of course, you use it from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. So I look at this industry, and also because I was suffering from bad acne skin all my life, you know, since the age of, you know, when I was going through my teen years, and I thought maybe I could find products that work for myself and then go out there, find people out there who need it similar to me and then market it. But one thing that was very adverse against, because I had heard about traditional online businesses and how I experienced very similar to what Karine shared earlier on, which is how when you start out traditional businesses, you always have to buy inventory. Even with Julie, she shared as well, how a lot of platforms out there will teach you how you can set up your website, how you can set up your blog, but then you always need to go and buy stock. And you normally buy stock and then you price it. Maybe you see whether you can price it above, but you would have spent a huge amount of risk buying your stock. And if you can't sell off your stock, you're stuck with them. And so this is what happened to me. I was selling clothes and I thought to myself, hey, you think what? I could maybe sell some clothes and do well, but I was every month stuck with some designs, some colors, some sizes that no customers wanted to buy. And then the next month came, I had to buy new colors, new designs, and new sizes. So it never ended. My storeroom was always filled with excess clothing that I couldn't get rid of. And I told myself, whatever I'm going to do in my next e-commerce business, I do not want to have any form of inventory or stocking because it's a huge risk and my capital is stuck in there. So I found a way to do e-commerce without having to stock up. And I'm sure you have heard of this term if you have been looking into e-commerce platforms and businesses, and that's called dropshipping. Now, what exactly is drop shipping for those of you who have never heard this term? Drop shipping means that you can literally go out there, find suppliers that have existing products. You don't have to create your own products. You don't have to buy their products. And all you need to do is hook the suppliers up with your customers. So of course, you got to get customers, you got to market, you got to get customers. And what do the suppliers do? The suppliers will pay you a retail profit on every item that you manage to sell to your customers. And you don't have that risk that you take on with the inventory. So I saw that and I said, this is amazing. And I started to look into skincare. I find that I wanted to find a form of partnership. And I did some research and I came across a very well-known doctor in the US. His name is Dr. Nathan Newman. Now, you might have seen him because he's actually a cosmetic surgeon for a lot of Hollywood stars. And the reason why he got so famous is because he's one of the very first cosmetic surgeons to do a facelift without having to cut the skin. Now, most of us know plastic surgery as being a nip and tuck. That means that if you want a facelift, you cut the skin and then you sew the skin upwards. And sometimes your face ends up looking different from what your original face looks like, right? And it's not very nice. But what Dr. Nathan came up with is that he took stem cells, the patient stem cells. Now, where do stem cells come from? Stem cells are produced till today in your bone marrow. And when they're produced in the bone marrow, they get circulated in the rest of your body. They will go to different parts of your body and they will start to specialize into form your different organ cells, like your heart cells, your eye cells, and then they will multiply to replace all of those cells so that you get a new organ, sometimes every 6 months, sometimes in a year. Now, you maybe never knew that, but that's actually what happens, and that's why you can live for so many years, all right, healthily, because of your stem cells. So what Dr. Nathan Newman did is when his patients came to him, he took the stem cells from their body, he replaced them into their face, so the stem cells became face cells, they specialized, they multiplied, and this volume that they created from this multiplying effect created this natural lift. Similar to when a baby is just born, you can see all of this stem cell pool that so makes them look so cute and so fat in their face, right? So that's exactly what he did. And so he got really famous, and I was very excited to see if he's got his own drop shipping products. And I discovered that he's got his own range, not with stem cells, because stem cells can always exist in the human body. But he found a way that stem cells produce languages called growth factors, which are nothing more than chemical molecules that will go to different parts of our face or different parts of our body to repair. And that's how our body does its own natural repairing. It's because they produce chemical molecules called growth factors. And he was able to bottle up these growth factors into his skincare range. And it was revolutionary. I found it in Vogue, Shape, Canberra Weekly. It was being featured, it was being, very prestigious, being talked about. And so I was excited to see if he had some drop shipping on this product. And true enough, he had. And so I started to market it. And I found that what was very different about what he had and what was currently in the marketplace was a lot of what was in the marketplace was always about symptom repair. If you got wrinkles, you get a wrinkle cream. If you got pigmentation, you get a pigmentation cream. And you cannot use a wrinkle cream to get rid of pigmentation or even acne. So you end up having 4 or 5 different products to use for different symptoms. But what they found with Dr. Nathan Newman that completely changes the technology of skincare is that it is based on cell repair. So you give the language that your cells require to repair itself, and they will automatically go and do the work to repair whatever problem your skin has. So I marketed it, I drop shipped it all over the world on e-commerce. It was very successful. I just want to show you, this is me 10 years ago, the picture on the left, and I always suffered from very bad acne. And I was very, self-conscious. And of course, this is me today. You can see my picture. The picture on the right-hand side is actually me a couple of years back when I was on a holiday with my husband. And so I feel that, wow, I was so confident with the skincare range, and I marketed it around the world globally, just drop shipping it without having to buy products. Now, the next industry and the trending industry that I wanted to look at was weight management, because I felt that everybody looks at wanting to lose weight. Sometimes it's for health, sometimes it's for the way they want to look better. And I discovered this person called Mark McDonald. Now, Mark McDonald is actually a very famous US nutrition and fitness guru. He is constantly on CNN. He's also on Dr. Oz, a US channel. And last few years, he was invited to Singapore to talk on a radio channel called 938 Live, just to talk about his weight management program. And I got so excited because when I heard him, I knew that this is the kind of program that, I wanted to put out there online, because not only did he have drop shipping products, his weight management program allows even children to participate in. So it is very natural. It's all ingredients that even children can use and be able to stay in shape. Now, one other industry that I went into that I was very excited is in the area of health and wellness. And you might be wondering why. Well, the reason is very, very simple for me. It's because when I did some research, I discovered that all of the big companies that I know of, all right, were pumping billions of dollars into this industry. And what is the likelihood that all of them will pump in the same industry unless there's a huge potential? So I saw Google, I saw Amazon, I saw Apple, I saw Facebook, even this Jack Ma's company, or Taobao was also pumping billions of dollars into the health industry, even recently with Microsoft as well, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. And so I got really excited, and also because closer to my heart is because my parents, they are aging and they're starting to have age-related problems. And so I wanted to find products that could work and also be able to market out there to as many people who are in their pioneer generation or they're aging right now. And I came across a book by a very well-known stem cell scientist called Christian Dupont. Now, Christian Dupont is a leading stem cell scientist in the US, and he wrote a book called Cracking the Stem Cell Code. You can find it on Amazon. Now, when he wrote this book, he talked about stem cells being the ultimate prescription for health rather than medical drugs. And I like that idea because my parents, my mom had arthritis, my dad had high cholesterol, and they were on medical drugs. And I did not like them to be on this drug because I knew that long-term there could be potential side effects. So I started to do some research on his own science, and I discovered that in 2018, he was actually featured on a Malaysia national newspaper called Harian Metro. It says Bantu Hasil Cell Stem. So it's got to do with cells and the stem cells and how he found natural ingredients around the world like blue-green algae, aloe vera, and sea buckthorn that is sourced from different places in the world today that actually help to increase your own body's stem cell production. And so, of course, if you've got increase of stem cells, then you've got more healthy cells, because stem cells, remember, are the beginning of all root cells. So they become heart cells. You then have a healthy heart. You've got lung cells. So you've got a healthy lungs because they're being replaced by all of your stem cells. So that is good. And I found him also on a Malaysian newspaper in Chinese. And the other person that I wanted to work very closely with in the area of health and wellness is this person called Dr. Vincent Giampapa. And the reason why is because he was previously a consultant of NASA, and he has been nominated 2 times for a Nobel Prize in the area of his stem cell research. Now, to be nominated for a Nobel Prize in the science industry is a huge deal. It means your science research has been ongoing for more than 30 years, and it also means that your science research has contributed to the benefit of mankind. Now, when I came across this guy, I saw him first on Discovery Channel and how he talked about how you can actually reverse the process of aging. And his research on a key compound called resveratrol was also featured in a national newspaper in Singapore in 2014. Now, when I came across this newspaper article, I was very excited because at that point in time, as I mentioned, my parents were having a lot of health-related problems. And so I came across this article, resveratrol. I saw how resveratrol as a natural ingredient that you can find in most of our food. You might be wondering where. You can find it in strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, grape, acai berries, anything that is dark red and purple in color. As a fruit, you probably have resveratrol. Even in chocolates and peanuts, you can find this compound as well. So not only is it naturally occurring, it actually has many health benefits when you consume it into the human body. It protects against heart diseases, it extends your life, it prevents cancer, it helps against diabetes, it protects against neurons being degenerated, which is your brain cells, and it keeps you in an optimal weight. And so I was very excited because when I started to give my mom a gel form of resveratrol after doing my research, I start to see her symptoms improve. She didn't have any more of the aches and pains that come with arthritis. It's been 7 months now, and she's off all arthritis drugs, and this is something that is very great news to me because the doctors always told her, you got to take this for life. My dad is off of cholesterol drugs as well, and he's been taking a gel form of resveratrol, which is natural. Now, I want to show you something in my next slide that is very, very personal. If you've ever been, told like your revenue and things like that, which is earlier what I showed you, I'm sure you've heard revenue. Oh, I made a revenue of 1 million, but revenue is not equal to profit. Revenue just means that it's a sale of all of the products combined together. So when you saw 12 over a million, you might be wondering, Jeeann, is that possible? It is absolutely possible because it's the sale of all of my products. But what I want to show you now is what I make in terms of profit. And you know, every one of you, when you start an online business, the exciting thing about it is you're going to have an online wallet, your very own online wallet. And the good thing about having an online wallet is you could have a weekly income. So unlike a job where maybe you have to wait until the end of the month, you could have a weekly income that comes in that pays you every single week, right? And this is my e-wallet that when I first started my business a couple of years back, and I want to show you it's weekly. So 16 April, 23rd April, May, you know, April 30th, May 7, May 19, May 28. And the amount here is in US dollars. So 24,000 USD, 14,000, you can convert it into your own home currency. For me, it's about 1.34. So it's quite significant for me. And of course, the method you can always choose to transfer into a local bank account or overseas a bank account, or you can choose to even use it online. And I chose to transfer my local bank account. And every week I was getting more than 10,000 US dollars. And I got really, really excited because I never imagined being able to build a business from home, be anywhere in the world, and still have an income that pays me more than what I was paid in an annual income when I was teaching as a career. And this allowed me to work from anywhere. And so when I saw this, I got really, really, you know, enthusiastic about e-commerce and also about wanting to share my experience. And so a couple of years back, we started our entrepreneur community, because we are really about entrepreneurship and having the mindset and having the skill set. And so I want to share with you the community. Of course, earlier on, you met two of the women in the community, all right, Corinne and Julie. But more importantly, all right, we call ourselves Homepreneurs. And the reason why is because we surround ourselves with our family. We build around our family, and we want to build as entrepreneurs. We are learning skill sets, all right? And of course, family is important to us. So we spend a lot of time with our family. Also, we learn the skill sets. We want to be able to cook and exercise and have family nights, you know. And one thing that I love about the community that I've been in is that one of the things we like to do is once a year, we would actually give back to the society. So, you know, a couple of years back, we built a school in Myanmar, and we funded the kids for 1 year of education. And that to me has been so fulfilling, because not only am I able to provide for my family, I'm able to provide for elsewhere people who are maybe in a difficult situation. And I think as individuals, sometimes we do want to provide, but you know, it's not easy, and it's not a very big difference what we can make as an individual. But if we come together as a community, the impact that we make, it's a lot greater. And also one thing that we like to do is we like to travel. So if you've always wanted to travel the world, you know, join us as a community, because once a year we organize a trip that we'll be going to different parts of the world. 2 years back, we were in Italy, Pompeii, and then we went to Vancouver, and then Athens. And this year we were going Iceland, but we've got to put that on hold maybe till next year. Hopefully everything is cleared up, and then we can go to Iceland. But the exciting thing about when you build an online business that I discovered, that your business travels wherever you go. So as long as you have Wi-Fi access, your business goes with you. I know that there are some of us, maybe we have not been able to work because our spouse is sent overseas. And so we have got to give up our careers or even our businesses that we have had, that we have grown, you know, all for the sake of our family. But I want to let you know that when you build an online business, you can bring your business anywhere around the world. You could travel the world as you're building your business. You could go with your spouse and be with your family, and yet still have income coming in for yourself. So this is what I like. But I want to let you know that time is not on our side. I know that every one of us, when we came into this evening on this Zoom, every one of us have our own priorities, you know, but I want to encourage you and let you know something. If you've always wanted to be a part of a community that teaches you skill sets, that empowers you, all right, to get on that journey of entrepreneurship, I truly believe that this is the right place that you're in. Now, time is not on our side, because every one of us has 24 hours a day. But some of us, we feel that we have got so many things to juggle. And you might be wondering, Jeeann, I don't know whether I can, you know, fit something else in, all right, as much as I know this is going to change my life. But I want to encourage you by letting you know one thing. In this community, we always talk about pockets of time. Now, what is a pocket of time? Well, if you've ever known, you wear pants or you wear a dress and you've got this little pocket, what is it? It's just small enough for you to put your hand in, your keys in, or maybe some of your wallet in or some coins in. But a pocket is a very small part of your dressing. And so a pocket of time is also a small part in your 24-hour day, maybe 1 to 2 hours, that you could just take out and spend on your online business. Now, what could these pockets of time be? It could be maybe early in the wee hours of the morning when you've woken up and you're getting ready to go to work. It could be while you're commuting to work on a public transport like a train or a bus. Or it could be maybe when your kids are in school, you've got that window of period. Or maybe when they've gone to sleep, you've got that time. Or maybe even when you are finished from work and you are just back home, you've got that 1 to 2 hours and you can get on and you can build your business. Now, another thing that always people tell me is, Jeeann, I don't have the confidence to get started because I've never built any sort of e-commerce business. I'm not social media marketing savvy. In fact, I don't get onto social media much, and I've worked for people all my life. I don't know whether I have the confidence to get started. And I want to let you know that confidence is not what you need when you start anything, because if you remember anything that you got started in, whether you learned how to ride a bicycle or you did something different, you took courage. You never had confidence when you started out that first step. You always just took that courage. So I truly believe that if you have the courage to believe you can change the current circumstance that you're in, and the courage to believe that you can build something better for your future, you definitely are able to get going on something like that. So if this has been something that you've been your heart all this time, and just this COVID thing has just pushed you to make a decision, I want to invite you as a first-time homepreneur, all right? We want to encourage you to take a step of faith, all right? Come out of your comfort zone, take courage. Like every one of us in the community, it took us courage to get going. And then we're going to teach you how you get a website set up, an e-commerce website, how to get the programming and the design, and how you're going to have a website that has language translation so you can have overseas customers from around the world. And then on your website, you're going to accept foreign currency without having to open a foreign bank account or even maybe set up a cash or collect from cash and do a money changing, and you don't have any of that. We're going to teach you where exactly you can look at all of the global trends so that you have a global business, not a local one. And then where can you do drop shipping and find suppliers without having to buy any form of inventory or capital. And where can you be able to ship into 140 countries around the world? And where can you get licensed so that you have your products that can seamlessly go into every country, all right? And even like halal certifications and all of this that are in place for different, dietary requirements, and also how you can run your business from a mobile app so that you don't have to bring your laptop everywhere you go. And from the comfort of your mobile app, you could be sitting in your cafe, you could be sitting at home, and you can be running your business from home, anywhere. But, I know that all of this, I think if it's been useful for you, you can take a picture of that. But all of this are just the physical hardware of any business. And I don't believe any of this would lead you to success. Even if I help you set up all of this and teach you how to get all of this going, I don't believe that this will give 100% determined success, because I learned this from Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said this. He said, if you want to be successful in anything, you have to learn from people who are already successful in that area. And that means that you've got to find somebody who has already done it, who has already walked that journey, who has already been successful, and then align yourself with that person and learn from that person. And so that's what we jump right into in the community. We truly believe that mentorship is important. So we created a mentorship program that as you start out as a first-time homepreneur, you will have a mentor that will follow you, that will lead you, that will guide you, that will feedback to you where you've gone wrong and teach you how to do it. So you hear a lot of that from Kareen, you hear a lot of that from Julie, how they feel there's such a sense of support in the community and how they've grown so much and they've learned so much because of that mentorship. And of course, eventually we want to teach you how you can expand the world across the globe, because this is, after all, an e-commerce business, and you should expect to have a business that is in more countries around the world than just your own local country. So if this has been useful, take a picture of this, a quick one, and I'm going to just summarize in the next slide. All right. So if you want to get started, all right, I call this the Homepreneur guidance. And that means that in that next 1 year, you're going to be learning all of this, how you're going to run your business online. But why 1 year? And if you tell me, Jeeann, I don't have a skill set, I don't have the mindset, I've never worked for people, and I'm worried that I can't get going. Well, look at this picture and let this picture encourage you, because every one of us, when we were born, we never knew how to walk at the very beginning. All of us started out as a baby that couldn't even crawl, let alone walk. But why is it that at the end of 1 year, every single one of us could walk? It's because we had a mentor. And the mentor came in the form of a parent, a grandparent, an auntie, an uncle, or maybe even a domestic helper. And that person helped us to get on our feet and help us to get walking by the end of that 1 year. So this is exactly who you are and where you're starting from. And through that, you're going to learn how to get your website set up, your mobile app, running it from there. And of course, how you're going to get suppliers. And some of them are doctors. Some of them you will get the products. You want to be able to be confident in it. And then, of course, as you build your business, there's not going to be any inventory or stocking up or required. You won't have to have any capital required to buy stock and then resell it. And then, of course, the most important thing I truly believe in the Homepreneur guidance is that 1 year of mentorship. And I like that after you learn the skill sets in the community, one of the things that we always do is we pay it forward. So we pay it forward in the form of giving money back to the society, but we also pay it forward in the form of you teaching your skill sets to somebody else, and let that person learn the skill set so that they can go on to help their family and the society at large. So this is the thing that I love about the community. So if you've always wanted to be a part of a community that teaches you skill sets to get your own home-based online business going, we're going to have a training tomorrow immediately. All right. So it's 10:30 or 9 p.m. This is Singapore, Malaysia time. If you're going to be in a different time zone, talk to the person invited you here, get the link immediately from them. You would have to set up your website first. So tell them you want to get your website set up immediately, and then how you're going to be running your business from the comfort of your home. I'm going to teach you how you're going to get clients or customers for free. We talked about it earlier. All right. You can find them on the internet. You're going to find them on social media. So like Twitter, Facebook, from all of these, I'm going to be teaching you tomorrow in that 1.5 hours. But the next 1 year, you're going to get more skill sets than whatever I'm just going to teach you in that 1.5 hours. I'm going to cram as much possible in that 1.5 hours. But you're going to have a 1 year mentorship, not just with one person. You're going to be added into a community of mentors. So you're going to learn about value adding and value marketing to your customers so that you can have constant customers and repeat purchases. And then I'm going to teach you how to automate your business. Now, more than ever, I look around me and the economy, the global economy and what it is. And I think truly right now is the right time to build wealth. And what is wealth compared with an active income? An active income has been what we have been building all these years in our life. And that is when we have a good job, we've got an income. And it's an active income. And when we stop working or we fall ill or we take leave, we probably don't get paid, right? So what is wealth then? Wealth, as defined by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant, he says that wealth is the number of days you can survive without working. And that means that you literally have income that's coming in for you every day, in spite of the fact that you are not actively going out and finding work. And how do you have that? You might be asking me, Jeeann, how is that really truly possible? Well, as you build an online business, it is 100% possible, because you could be going to sleep tonight at 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. But remember, somebody is waking up to their own time zone at 11 a.m. So can that be an active wealth making business for you? Absolutely. Now, earlier on, I talked about community and how community is something that's so close to my heart, because community has changed my life. Community has helped me believe in myself and has helped me to, when I always feel like giving up as an entrepreneur because, I'm alone, or I think I can't do it, or I think it's not possible. Look at me, I'm only a school teacher, and I see somebody else who is also in the same boat as me, is a school teacher, but is succeeding. I start to have the confidence and the faith to believe that it is possible for me as well. And I want to bring on some of the women in the community to share a little bit about their experience as well. Again, and so I know that there are some of us here who will be stay home or retirees, and you might be wondering, I don't know whether I can build a business. So I want to bring up a stay-home mom for more than 10 years, okay? So if anybody here can declare that they are a stay-home person and they don't have skill sets, then I want to share with you that this person, it would fit that bill, and yet she's been able to build a business online from the comfort of her home. All right. And I'm so excited for her to share. So I'm going to unmute Rebecca, and just give me a moment. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay. Hi everybody. Rebecca. I'm from Singapore, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for about 15 years. And I have two children. My girl is 16, and my boy is 12. So for me, actually, I enjoy the moment and the time that I have staying at home with my children. Before I decided to be a stay-at-home mom, I used to be an executive secretary to a general manager in a five-star hotel. Yeah, but I chose to be a stay-at-home mom because I want to spend more time with my children. At that time, my girl was one, and then come along my boy. So my poor husband has to work very hard for the family. Yes, and also what happened was, there's no job security for my husband. 8 years ago, his company actually went through a restructuring program, and he was offered a retrenchment package. So he accepted the retrenchment package and started his own business. So for about 3 years, the business was not doing well, and we went into business debts. And at that time, my children are still very small. And as parents, as mom, especially, whatever we do, we want the best for our children. So when we have the children to suffer with us, it actually pains us a lot. I was very blessed that I met my mentor Jeeann and also worked together with a community of entrepreneurs for this online business. And today I'm already 5th year into the business. My business now is in 34 countries, and I have more than a few thousand websites under my web store. So now I don't have to ask my husband for any allowance. Whatever my kids I can provide for my kids, and for the past 3 years I've been able to use my own income to bring the whole family for holidays without needing to ask my husband for it. And I also learned that as women, no matter how capable our husbands are, we need to have our own financial independence. Yeah, thank you, Jen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. So, I love that as a stay-home mom without experience to be able to build your business into 30 over countries.
Yes.
That's amazing. And without any skill sets, right? I mean, like, did you start already knowing how to build online businesses and all of that?
No, I've been staying home for so long already, right? So when I first met Jeeann and the community, but we have this social media trainings, we have the support and empowerment from the whole community to teach us, to empower us, to guide us how to run this online business globally. And most of my time, almost I can say like maybe 95% of my time I'm always in Singapore. So even though I travel out, it's only like Malaysia or Vietnam, that's all. Yeah, the rest of the countries like Papua New Guinea, France, Italy, Romania, Mongolia, all these countries have not been there, but because of the global platform and the social media uh, training, so I'm able to expand into all these countries.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. So it doesn't matter whether you are a father or mother, whether you are male or female, it doesn't matter because skill sets do not have a difference in gender, all right? So if you're here and you happen to be a male, all right, you can also learn the skill sets. We have men in the community that have been able to learn the skill sets and also pass on that skill set to their spouses. So I like what Rebecca said about how, even as no matter how capable our husbands are, we as women should be independent. I think it should be said for the same for men as well. No matter how capable our wives are, as husbands, we can also do a better job in providing. So I just want to end with one last quote from somebody that I admire very much. And I want to inspire you to take a chance with your life. All right. And a good chance, because a lot of us, we are always placed in a situation where we are at crossroads. You wouldn't be in this Zoom if you were not at a crossroads or considering how you could maybe start something. But I want to tell you that everything takes time to build. But you got to start from somewhere. It's like nature, right? If today you plant a seed, you're not going to see a fruit immediately. But 1 year from now, let me tell you, you will find yourself, not only are you more skilled in terms of the skill set that you're going to be picking up from the community and from your mentor, you're going to have the experience and the confidence, all right, to move your business forward. So this is Oprah Winfrey, and I think most of you know her. She says, create the highest, grandest vision for your life. So you've ever had a vision, maybe you came in here and your vision was just to know more about the community or know more about e-commerce trends. I hope that my sharing, as well as all of the people in the community has enlarged your vision to start to see the possibility, not just for somebody else, but for yourself. You deserve a better life. You deserve to live the highest, grandest version of your life possible. And not just you, your family deserves that as well. Then let every step move you in that direction. The next 1 year, you're going to learn skill sets that's going to help you move your business forward. And as I mentioned, these skills are transferable. Today, when you learn the skill sets, it's like learning how to ride a bicycle. You will never forget this, and you can pass these skill sets on to your family. You can pass this on to your friends or to anybody, all right, that requires that skill sets moving forward. So it's been such a great evening tonight. I thank you everyone for sharing this time with me. All right, I want to encourage you to get back to the person who invited you on this call. If you're excited to be part of the community and get started, immediately get the person, all right, going. Tell the person, I'm ready. I want to get started. Let me get in onto the training tomorrow. And I also want to wish everybody 2020 for the rest of the year, good health to you and your loved ones. So I can't wait to see you as part of the community of entrepreneurship. All right. Thank you, everybody. And God bless all of you.